shining smile.
Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Leslie Weidenbender. I'm here today with Senator Lonnie Randolph, a Democrat from East Chicago. Senator Randolph, I was wondering if we could talk a little bit about the Affordable Care Act and how you think that impacts Indiana.
Well, I think it impacts Indiana in a big way, Leslie. First of all, the Affordable Care Act is an act that if we opt into that, it's going to instantly make 400,000 Hoosiers, Indiana Hoosiers, eligible to be covered by insurance. Right now, I think the administration is leaning toward the HIPAA. HIPAA, to my understanding, maximized 70,000. Right now, it's roughly 40,000 that's covered under it. But the maximum containment at this point in time, they're looking at 70,000. Well, the Affordable Care Act allows a capacity of 400,000. In addition to 400,000 Hoosier residents being covered by the insurance, there's potential of creating 60,000 jobs. 60,000 good, high-paying jobs that Indiana Hoosiers can fill. So I think there's a double-barrel positive effect that it has in reference to us. So I think we should focus on that. The most important aspect of that is that cost factor. For the first 4 years, it doesn't cost us anything. The federal government picks up the entire cost. We start from that point on, after 4 years, on a descending basis, start picking up part of it. By then, we have a pretty good feel in terms of how effective it's going to be. So I'm supportive of that. I'm hoping that our administration, this administration in Indiana, takes a second look at that and start focusing on trying to get us underneath that umbrella.
Senator, you are backing legislation to help with development on the lakefront in your area. Tell us why that's important.
Well, it's important because, again, it deals with jobs. One of the main objectives that we as a Democratic caucus have is trying to come up with some avenues to allow increased jobs for our, not just for our Northwest Indiana, but the entire states. The bill that we got dealing with the lakefront, we got two. One that affects Whiting. There's Lake Michigan Beach right there. So we're talking about developing that area. If in fact we can develop that area, that's going to be what? It's going to increase jobs. More jobs, more payments, more salaries, more money being circulated in the community, more tax dollars. That's going to go to the city, towns, and state, which means what? The local governments can be able to sustain the services that they provide and maybe increase additional service. Same thing with the Port Authority. We got 3 port authorities in the state of Indiana. We want to add a 4th one. So one bill deals with studying a 4th one to be in Northwest Indiana, which means potentially, if it's successful, 6,000 more jobs, which means more salaries, more income, more taxes going to local, county, state government, which means ability to sustain services that's there and maybe increase some services. So those are the things that we're focusing on right now.
And you do there's also a bill to boost the casino industry in Indiana. We just have a few seconds. Can you tell us why you're concerned about that bill?
Well, I'm concerned about it because right now the cities and towns that house these boats and don't house these boats get revenue coming from the boats. This bill takes that revenue away from it to try to lessen the burden on the state concerning the tax dollars that the state's going to be taking from the boats, because they're going to allow the boats to take from the adjusted gross income coupons, discounts, things like that they give customers. $40 million hit to the state. I feel the state has a $2.1 billion surplus. So why can't they take a larger hit, like additional $20 million, to save that stream of money that's coming to the towns and cities with and without boats that need it right now? And they rely upon it right now. That's part of the budget package.
Well, thank you so much, Senator. It was great to have you here.
It's wonderful talking to you.
I'm Leslie Weidenbender with Comcast Newsmakers.